Andy Griffith is best known for his appearances as Sheriff Andy Taylor on The Andy Griffith Show and as defense attorney Ben Matlock in Matlock. While the beloved actor put on performances that delighted fans for decades, his female co-stars didn't get such a great ride. On both shows, it wasn't uncommon for actresses playing his love interests to abruptly disappear from production with no explanation. It wasn't just his characters who were unlucky. The actor himself struggled to make relationships work, even the ones he had with his on-screen sweethearts. But what was it about the beloved actor that made it so hard for him to get along with women? Keep watching to find out the real reasons for Andy Griffith's failed romances. The early days of The Andy Griffith Show. Fans of The Andy Griffith Show will know the main character, Andy Griffith, had few lasting love interests on the show. Several women came into his life, but none of them seemed to stick around. The trouble started from his very first on-screen girlfriend, Ellie Walker, played by Elinor Donahue. According to Griffith, they were lucky to get her on the show. When she landed the part and met with producers, all she knew was that she was going to be on the show. She had no idea what the part would be like. She was excited and nervous and wanted to do a good job to follow up from her successful role on Father Knows Best. She was introduced as a young woman who moved to Mayberry to take over the town's pharmacy from her retiring uncle. She was supposed to stir up romantic tension with Sheriff Taylor. Even though she had signed a 3-year contract, things just didn't work out. She left after 11 episodes. Donahue asked to leave her contract after just the first season, citing personal problems, as well as feeling undermined in her attempts to perform. Griffith blamed himself for the decision. Donahue went on to recall that Griffith would often take lines that were intended for her character and give them to other male actors, especially to his wacky on-screen sidekick Barney Fife, played by Don Knotts. He claimed the lines would be funnier coming from Knotts, but Donahue took the reallocation of lines as a sign that her performance was underwhelming. Years later, the actors met again, with Donahue apologizing for leaving the show the way she did. Andy Griffith's words were kind, but Donahue felt his demeanor was cold. Interviewed by Richard Kelly, the author of The Andy Griffith Show, Andy blamed his peculiar nature for his struggles with women. He said his difficult relationships with women made it difficult for him to write parts for them. He didn't know how they thought and felt, what they ought to say and do. He also admitted he failed to ignite passion with his love interests in the show. Andy meets his match. According to Andy Griffith's manager, Dick Linke, it was Griffith's real-life personality that caused his on-screen troubles, leading to him never sharing a real kiss with a woman on camera. The struggles continued on into season 2 of the show, with Taylor getting involved with Mary, the county nurse. Mary ended up being played by 2 different characters in that one season, first by Julie Adams and then by Sue Ann Langdon, but neither seemed able to sustain the role alongside Griffith. Griffith and the other writers nearly gave up trying to set up Taylor with a long-standing girlfriend or wife. Griffith's trouble with women persisted and didn't just affect his fictional romances. The way he appeared in the show, rarely showing physical affection, is the way he was in real life. He didn't know how to behave around women, nor how they should behave around him. One of his character's more successful relationships was with doe-eyed Mayberry schoolteacher Helen Crump, played by Aneta Corsaut. According to Richard Kelly, Corsaut effectively saved the show. After years of struggling to find a stable romantic interest for Andy Taylor, Corsaut stepped in and made it work. She possessed an elegance, poise, and innocence that made her the perfect companion for the awkward and, in some ways, insensitive Griffith. While pharmacist Ellie Walker was too aggressive and Nurse Peggy was too sexual, Corsaut was able to portray a platonic affection which put Andy at ease. She could have been his sister, says Kelly. Andy Taylor's future wife shows up in the 3rd season of the show. As their on-screen romance blossomed, Griffith started to have feelings for Corsaut. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to Factsverse if you haven't already, and stick around to find out the real reasons behind Andy Griffith's failed romances. On-screen love interests or real-life romances. Griffith's real-life marriage didn't stop him from pursuing his colleague. Even though the couple tried to keep their affair a secret, the pair's dalliances soon became common knowledge on set. The crew members even played a prank on Andy and Aneta. One of the crew dressed as a waiter and delivered food to the hotel room where the couple were snuggled up together, infuriating Griffith. Andy Taylor and Helen Crump ended up getting married in the spin-off show Mayberry RFD. But unlike Taylor, Griffith didn't have the help of a script to win over the real-life lady. Despite already being married, Griffith desperately wanted Corsaut, proposing to her on a number of occasions over the years. She turned him down every time. Corsaut herself never married. Many fans of the show weren't too disappointed, preferring Taylor's short fling with Nurse Peggy rather than his steady romance with Helen Crump. It seemed like audiences noticed the natural chemistry between Peggy and Taylor, a spark which ignited a real-life romance between Griffith and Joanne Moore, who played Peggy. The reality of their affair only emerged years later. While Griffith's affair with Aneta Corsaut was public knowledge even at the time, his romance with Moore only came out decades later, in 2015. Don Knotts revealed the affair to journalist Daniel DeVice, who published about it in his book, Andy and Dawn, The Making of a Friendship and a Classic American TV Show. Joanne Moore didn't have any bitterness towards the show or her fellow cast members after the affair ended. Speaking in a 1962 interview, she recalled the refreshing honesty of everyone on the show and how cast and crew alike were able to simply communicate and resolve any problems that came up. It was shocking to her looking back. Griffith, however, didn't find it so smooth. During the years of the show, he found it hard to separate between the two Andys, feeling like his on-screen persona was starting to create real-life expectations. After punching through a wall on set, he went to seek professional help on the advice of the show's producer. Matlock. Fresh start, similar problems. Even after the Andy Griffith Show, the actor's trouble with women persisted. The revolving door of on-screen love interests continued to puzzle viewers on Griffith's second biggest series, Matlock. Assistant District Attorney Julie March, played by Julie Sommars, acted as the adversary to defense attorney Ben Matlock, played by Griffith. However, the tension between the two was limited to the courtroom and never seemed to find its way to the bedroom. Sommars stayed with the show from its second season until 1992 when it was canceled by NBC. Even though Matlock was immediately picked up by ABC, there were still hurdles to overcome before Matlock would reappear on viewers' screens. Griffith was starting to get fed up. The 2-hour movies the studio wanted from him would take up too much of his time. His agent told him to forget the whole thing. Desperate to keep the show alive, ABC came back with a counteroffer. They would relocate the whole show closer to Griffith to make things more convenient. They even agreed to rent him a house. So Matlock didn't just move studios, but also locations, relocating to Griffith's home state of North Carolina. Unwilling to move from her idyllic home, Sommars refused to move along with the show and left acting entirely, with the exception of one final appearance across from Matlock in 1994. In an interview with Life magazine, Sommars recalled how she couldn't leave behind her dreamy California house, which represented the beauty of life to her. Fans were shocked that after 6 straight seasons of being a staple in Matlock's life, that Julie March could simply disappear without so much as a goodbye scene or even a nostalgic reminiscence from Matlock. Right up until the end, Andy Griffith just couldn't make love work for him. Now it's time to hear from you. Who was your favorite of Andy Griffith's romances? Let us know in the comment section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.